You too. In today's video, we got supposedly with this David and Celeste situation, they found some of the most disturbing and horrific ass shit in his phone. So let's go ahead and get straight to it, man.
What prosecutors revealed they found in David's phone at his court date today made everybody in the room stomach turn. It was horrifying. This degenerate freak really murdered that little girl and thought he was never gonna get caught. He thought he committed the perfect crime. He thought, there's no evidence. He cleaned up his tracks good enough. He thought they was never gonna find out. He was never gonna get arrested, and that's evident by how he was moving.
It's crazy,
Celeste
bro.
was murdered according to officials back in April of 2025. I think she was murdered much longer before then, but if we're going with the official timeline, she was murdered back in April. She wasn't discovered dead until September. He had about 6 months to clean up his tracks, and he thought he did a good enough job. He wasn't officially charged with anything until April of 2026. That means that's the entire year since he murdered Celeste.
Why did they give him this much long of time to be able to cover his evidence and to charge this man, bro? Like, I feel like they should have, as soon as they found out about this shit, they should have arrested him immediately, gang.
Now, he knew
what?
he was under investigation since September. That means he knew he was under investigation for about 6 months. But, his arrogance didn't really allow him to think that he was gonna get caught, because when he was eventually arrested, this dude has so much evidence on his phone, not of what he did to Celeste, but of other things that you would think that if somebody knew or had expectation they was gonna get arrested for something this horrific and knew their phone was gonna be a pivotal part of this investigation, that they would at least clean up their phone. But this dude was so arrogant and so cocky, he didn't even bother to even touch or erase his phone or erase illegal things from his phone.
A hearing just wrapped up for singer David in his first-degree murder case.
The prosecution revealed details about disturbing digital evidence. Let's get to CBS LA's Rick Montanez with what we learned in court today. Rick, what are you hearing?
Amy, Chris, the hearing just wrapped up within the half hour here, and cameras were not allowed in court, but I can tell you that the defendant, David Burke, was in court today in shackles and wearing that orange jumpsuit. The biggest new piece of evidence revealed, prosecutors say a significant amount of child found on Burke's cell phone.
Oh my gosh, fam. This is the most disgusting shit in the world. Child Griffey? Seriously, gang? What? Come on, fam. Arrest his man. Like, bro, they should have been sentencing him, gang. I don't know how he's not sentenced by now. He's guilty,
we also
my
want
nigga.
to point out that this all happens one day after the medical examiner's report became public. That is the report on the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The report says, or I should say the family of Rivas Hernandez is absolutely devastated to learn the gruesome details contained in that write-up. That's according to a family statement. So this report says the 14-year-old girl died of sharp force trauma, but the autopsy was difficult because of the severe decomposition of her dismembered body when it was found in the singer's abandoned Tesla last September. Officials say she died 5 months earlier in April of last year. Burke, the suspect known by his stage name David, was arrested last Thursday. On Monday, he pled not guilty to the capital murder charges. We spoke with a former federal prosecutor just a short time ago here on CBS LA Mornings about this new evidence revealed in today's hearing and the fact that David's phone, according to prosecutors, contains child.
Boy, this is so
and
disgusting,
obviously we don't
bro.
know if it's Celeste Rivas's images and videos or something else, but that is a significant offense. Obviously, it helps prosecutors prove the sex crimes, the lewd and lascivious, Penal Code Section 288, but it's also a separate crime in and of itself, and it's certainly the possibility that the feds even step into this case because they typically will prosecute these types of child cases.
They described it as a phone full of child porn. Now, am I surprised that this weirdo who's currently on trial for engaging in inappropriate activities with a 14-year-old girl and then murdering her because she was going to reveal it to the world? Am I shocked that that person has a phone full of child porn, have gigabytes of child porn? I'm not surprised at all, not one bit, right? Not one bit. I feel like what's even more surprising is that it wasn't deleted or it wasn't gone.
Hey, you gotta be a sick individual to not even care to even cover your evidence on your phone, gang. And on top of that, to have a whole data, like gigabyte full of child corn, my nigga. Corn? Like, bro, this is crazy. Like, And there's people in my comments, right, on TikTok who was trying to defend him, saying there was no evidence. My nigga, there's a chopped up body in the car, dropped off in a Tesla. All this evidence that's laid around, and you're still trying to defend somebody like this. For those of you out there that's trying to say he's innocent, you're fucked up in the head as well.
He really thought he was safe. Like, he really thought they was never coming for him. There's no evidence more clear that he thought he was never going to get caught and he was Teflon Don than his neighbors complaining that he was doing too much partying. And this was happening during the investigation. Like, Celeste's body was found. They went to a grand jury. They was like interviewing people, trying to get a murder charge on him. And he was at his hideout home in the Hollywood Hills partying and having a good old time while they investigating this little girl's murder.
Then today, NBC4 Investigates obtained surveillance video that appears to show the defense attorney near the police scene minutes later. This afternoon, Blair Burke returned to the home where police arrested the singer and made no comments as she left.
The DA?
One neighbor actually told me that he's relieved that there was an arrest because he said that there have often been parties at this home. I asked if he's heard parties here recently. He said it's an ongoing problem. Either way, on Monday, we're expected to get our first look at David as he's expected in court in person in downtown Los Angeles.
I'm more interested in knowing who the clout whores and monsters were that were still hanging out and partying with this dude, because he can't party with himself. If there were parties, there were other people there. Who were the people that were still comfortable partying with this dude, knowing like he was under investigation for what he did to Celeste? Like, even if you want to say, hey, man, I didn't know that he actually murdered her. I thought it was all lies. But
I ain't gonna lie. If you part of his inner circle gang, you knew that he murdered her. Let's just keep it a buck. You knew that, and you were comfortable with it. And the reason why you were comfortable with it was why? Because he's a celebrity. And on top of that, y'all probably thought y'all was gonna get away with it. I mean, it's clear as day. And also the officer or whoever was speaking on the news in the last video that we reacted to said this was obviously for financial gain. What are you gaining by murdering a 14-year-old girl, gang? Like, come on, fam.
You knew he was still having relations with this little girl, and you were still comfortable partying. The only people who I see really comfortable partying with someone like David are people who believe they are like David, or people who have similar interests or secrets like David, which is why I believe, man, even if we can't prove that anybody at that party actually did something, man, yo, they need to be under investigation. Like, they need to be put on a registry, man. David friends. We need to know who his friends were so people can stay away from him, bro.
And that's one thing I want to touch up on as well for everybody out there. If you got a friend or somebody you claim that you cool with, and you know that they're doing some weird out shit like this or something even worse, 9 times out of 10, you're like that as well. And the reason why I say that is because birds of a feather flock together. If you're comfortable with your friend, your family member, or somebody doing some wild shit, like, you're the same way as well, gang. Like, I'm sorry.
Because it's not like they was partying with him before her body got discovered. No, right? These were parties that started happening after David came back to LA after going to Texas briefly to hide out. This was in the middle of the investigation. There needs to be a list of names that are part of David's entourage and his network of people. Because I'm not buying David is doing all these things alone. The same way they try to get us to buy that he murdered Celeste by himself, that Celeste came over to his house on, I think, April 23rd or 24th, and he murdered her, and then she was never to be seen again, and he's the one who did all of this by himself.
Hey, I'm going to say this and I'm going to stop pausing it. Just think about how many children out here are going through this as well, have went missing, have been killed. And it's crazy that the people that's probably doing it is right in front of our fucking faces the whole time. Like, really think about it. Like,
I'm not buying that, bro. Especially after I seen the autopsy report and found out exactly what happened. I don't think David was able to do this himself, then hop on a plane the next day to go and party and have an album roll out and start his tour, and nobody was there to help him either hide his body, chop up this body, dismember this body, and hide it for him.
Right.
I don't think David, who was on an active tour, was actively hiding and moving Celeste's body all across Los Angeles County, bruh.
Just received the autopsy report from the medical examiner in Celeste Rivas's death, for which David is now charged with her murder. And there are some interesting things, and we talked about this before, that we knew that the coroner had ruled this, the medical examiner ruled this a homicide, but we didn't know the cause of death. And the DA said they were stabbed, there was some kind of sharp
instrument was used.
Now we know, and what they're saying is there were 2 wounds in particular, and that they believe, and they use the word may, and the word may is going to be really important, which we'll talk about, that they may be penetrating wounds, which would not be wounds
to
dismember a body.
Right, because of where they are, they believe, is, I think, the main, and also
and the way they describe it is they describe 2 penetrating wounds, one on the abdomen and one on the chest, and they describe them as, they tell you the depth and the length of these, and they say they have smooth edges. Indication seems to me that some sort of knife was plunged into her.
That's what they
and it left smooth, smooth edges.
The key is the length of the wounds. One is 3/4 of an inch, one is 9/16. So this size wound as the penetrative wound. These are
which
not,
is an indication of the length of the blade.
And also a blade that could not dismember a body, right? This would not be the same instrument used to dismember the body.
Now, the body was dismembered. They describe all that in detail, but those types of cuts to take the body apart would be different than knife cuts.
Does the report say anything about the dismemberment or what they believe was used?
They don't say what
was used.
No,
it does describe it in a lot of detail.
But it's gruesome.
I don't know what your religion is, but this case is proof that some of us didn't come from heaven. Now, we gotta give that up, man. I don't think God created all of us, man.
But I tell y'all this all the time, bro. There's some motherfuckers that really the devil created himself, bro. Like, y'all think this shit is sweet. I'm telling you, bro, we are walking amongst demons, bro. And I pray that these motherfuckers get revealed before the end times, because more children gonna go lost, more women gonna get kidnapped. This shit is sad, bro.
I think the devil had a hand in some of us being created.
For sure, bro.
Anybody who is capable of this, truly imagine what just happened here. Stabbed up some, first off, to take somebody's life by a knife, you gotta have
really wanted
some
to do
level
that
of
shit.
like psychoness in you, bruh. To take somebody's life with a knife is quite possibly one of the most personal things you could ever do.
Yep.
It's traumatic. It's not easy. You are feeling their life leave their body with each and every stab. He still will be a disturbed human being if he would have did it by shooting her or, I don't know, drugging her. But to do it with a knife and to feel that person's soul leave their body, it does something to the average person, bruh. The fact that this dude was able to hop on a plane, go ahead and party, have a good old time laughing, great poker face as if nothing happened the day before, then come back and hop on tour and have a tour, and he's playing with coffins at like his like tour dates, playing with blood-filled shirts at his tour dates, singing songs like Romantic Homicide that essentially describes what happened, but the music was filmed before. The fact that his mental was able to handle all of this tells me this is not a normal human being.
Not at all.
This is somebody who we truly have to acknowledge in the likes of like Ted Bundy. Because when you see him interact with other people, rather it's on stream or during these interviews, he's soft-spoken, he's charming, has a bright smile. We truly have to start considering, David might be like Ted Bundy.
And these are the people that you got to worry about, bro. Like, these be the ones that you might not think never do nothing, the charming ones, the ones with a nice smile, and these motherfuckers is really killing motherfuckers every day. Like, what? This is crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie, everybody need to start reevaluating the people they associate with every day in their lives, especially the women out there. Y'all reevaluate the man that y'all dealing with, bro. Because as y'all can see, man, like, shit like this can happen.
And if he was able to do this so easily, if he was able to conceal this little girl's death for so long.
This for sure is not the first time he did this shit. Or he's been involved in some shit. Because there's no way in hell you can have sex with a little girl for one, right? You can do corn with her as well, right? And on top of that, my nigga, you can kill her, chop her up, dismember her body, and then go do your show out the country or wherever you went. Like, ain't that fucking crazy, gang? Ain't go party? Like, nothing happened? You are mentally fucked up and you're not from this earth. I'm sorry.
Imagine who else he did it to.
Exactly.
If y'all think that, after hearing what you're about to hear of limbs being missing, fingers being cut off, if you think that Celeste is his only body, I think y'all are out of your mind.
So there's a word that's used, may, that it may have been caused by this. The defense is going to jump on that.
Oh, they'll definitely.
Because they're not saying it's conclusive, and it aligns with what we've been hearing, which is they were having a really hard time determining how she died.
Well, look at the passage of time.
As recently as February.
Yeah.
The passage of time to determine this is a long, it's many, many months.
There's also, and it's conflicting, and we still can't quite figure it out, but there are references to finding presumptive positive indications that she had both meth and MDMA in her system.
Although additional screenings showed that to be not detected, but the initial screen said presumptively.
So it seems like there were two testing, two tox screens. The initial one detected MDMA and methamphetamine. Subsequently, they did a confirmation test, and it was unclear whether there was MDMA, but methamphetamine, but no sign of MDMA at that second confirmation test.
Hey, all the ladies out there, bro, stop linking up with these dudes to smoke, drink. Because I'm telling you right now, most dudes, they only want to link with you for a smoke session just to fuck you, gang. I'ma just keep it a buck. Y'all might as well just stay to yourselves and smoke your own. And if you are gonna go, smoke your own shit, bro. But don't be going and linking with randoms just because he looks good, he has a nice smile, he has all the money, he has the cars. Because I'm telling you, those be the motherfuckers that will get you because you feel so comfortable around them by what they're displaying to you. Whole time it's a demon that's operating inside of them, bro.
I mean, ultimately, is that going to matter when you get to trial, like whether or not she was probably on any drugs?
Well, they may argue it was an overdose. I don't know what they're going to argue, but they'll latch onto what they can.
That's not an overdose, bro.
Look,
he got drugged and got killed.
The O.J. Simpson case. The coroner was on the stand for 8 days in that case. So this is going to be the centerpiece of the case because, you know, what the DA is saying is we have evidence she threatened David that she would expose their relationship, probably in a text. That's the way they make it seem. And that she goes to David's house on April 23rd, 2025, never to be seen again.
Right.
So now the question, what happened? So the prosecutor's going to say he stabbed her to death. And here are these 2 wounds. And then you're going to have the defense coming out and saying, look, number one, you didn't say conclusively, you're saying may. And this is a reasonable doubt case.
The medical examiner also released their reports, and I'll be real, bro. Seeing this, man, I don't see how anything other than a death penalty is appropriate here, bro. So they confirmed 2 things. She was missing both arms above the elbows and both legs above the knees.
Oh my gosh, bro. This is sick, bro. This is very sick. Seriously. Do you know how evil and wicked of a human being you have to be to slice through somebody's arms, somebody's legs? Do you know how many muscles, bones, tissues we have? And you keep cutting? And you're just watching it cut sounds being made, and you have to break the bone to even get through that motherfucker. You know how really bad you wanted to kill somebody to do this, bro? This deserved a death penalty. I am not gonna lie, bro. I can't lie.
Underneath the body bag was a black trash bag that contained the descendants' apparent compiled bilateral arms and legs. They appear to have been dismembered into several fragments. The descendant was in an advanced state of decomposition demonstrated by foul odor, discoloration, liquefaction. Notice approximately 1-inch linear defect on her abdomen and circular defect on her left flank. Now, the left ring and pinky fingers appear to have been mutilated. So this dude probably kept this as a trophy, man. What a weirdo.
Oh my gosh, you keep a little girl's fingers as well, gang? What? And there's people still out in my comments trying to defend him, saying he's innocent. Are you serious right now? What if this happened to your little sister, your mother, your grandma, your aunt, whoever? Like, y'all people are wicked in this world, bro.
And I did not locate them during my scene examination, so they're missing. They're gone. She has a tattoo that reads "shh" on the side of her right index finger. I did not observe any discernible scars or tattoo. I don't even want to know what that weirdo and sicko is doing with those fingers, but his next court date is in like a week or 2, so we're going to keep on covering this. Let me know in the comment section, what are you guys' thoughts, man?
Man, this is very sickening and wicked, bro. And we need to take these type of people off the streets. And I'm telling y'all right now, when somebody finally gets caught, that's not the first time they did something. So you can only imagine how many family members have mourned over missing family members. They don't even know what happened to them, gang. So all the women out there, y'all stay safe. And most importantly, use your mind, not your feelings. Use your mind on a situation if you think it's off. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.